Yeah, just a sec. Yeah.
Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, people around the world. I'm Mohan Saraswatipura, the DB2Night show host, and I'm with Martin Hubel. You know very well, Martin Hubel was the host and the guest speaker most of the time for DB2Night show. And then we have two special guests, Chris Muncan, IDUG CPC chair, and then Ian Borjado, IDUG president for 2024. Thanks everybody for joining. We have the night show 257. We're going to talk about all about IDUG, IDUG process, procedures, what we're going to expect in IDUG 2024 North America, and get involved. This is your show. Follow us on Twitter, and also the hashtag is DB2Night. Replays are available on the YouTube. Disclaimer, the DB2Night show sponsor, advertiser, host, and guest, their respective organizations, if any, not responsible for any liability for any content provided hereby. Opinion, DB2 views are materialized in the viewer's mind only. Use information and ideas at your own risk. Use respect, courtesy when contributing to Night Show via Twitter, email as guest. Trademarks and registered trademarks belong to the respective organizations. DB2Night show is being recorded. Your participation may be recorded via your contributions, if any, and you consent to any and all content being recorded via ongoing participation. Mind your manners, recordings, derivative works thereof will be made available as a replay blocks and related to material, 2024 DBI. Tonight's show, DB2 announcement, the DB2 audience poll, our future presentations, audience QA, and wrap-up. Announcement, we will have all the recordings available in the watch replay, and we're going to be bringing a lot of presentations across the lab, as well as many people around the world. Expect the announcements in the website. DBI performance webinar for IBM DB2 LEW. Run DB2 faster, more reliably, and greater efficiency at lower cost using DBI product. How to tune DB2 LEW in minutes with confidence. Follow the webpage shown up here. And DBI now supports SQL Server as well. Thanks for our sponsor, Smart Tools for Smarter People, DBI, and Martin Hubel Consulting, DBI Automation as well.
You can take that off the next time we do this.
Will do. Thanks, Martin. Move your mouse. It's about the polling time. So we're gonna have polls, 6 questions coming on your screen. And let's start with the first one. You'll have 10 seconds to answer. All right, 100%. We're gonna go to the next one. Next polling question. Have you attended IDUG in the past? All right, 5 seconds left. Closing the poll. All right, next one is going to be, do you plan to attend IDUG North America next month in Charlotte?
I hope it's a yes for everybody.
Yeah. All right, 100% registered. So we're going to close the poll. And what are your primary reasons to attend IDUG? Pretty simple question, but greater benefit for us. All right, closing the poll. Do you attend or participate in regional DB2 user groups?
Hey, and we just had one of these recently. Martin was there too.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Indeed, I
Canada.
was. We had a wonderful time, and it worked out really well.
That's awesome. All right, closing the poll. The last question. Yeah, that's about it. And then we're going to move on to the next. This presentation is all about IDUG. So we have two great presenters, Chris and Ian, going to talk about IDUG 2024 North America and the plans they have and what we can expect most in the presentation or conference. Today's show is sponsored by DBI, right? Chris, I'm going to hand it over to you, or Ian.
Thank you.
Okay.
Let me grant the permission.
Now, if you want to make me presenter, I can take us through, and Ian, you can just tell me when to go next slide if you like.
Okay. In the presenter to Chris. I'm changing it to Chris. Chris, here you go. I can see the screen.
And you should see the IDUG screen. Let me know if you see that all right.
I do see it very well.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you, Mohan, and congratulations on your promotion to take over the DB2Night show.
Well,
I know that I've been missing it, so it's nice to have it back. And Martin, congratulations on passing the torch. So, as Mohan said, my name is Ian Bjarhovde. I am the current IDUG president. I have one more year in my term, and it has been a wonderful experience. I've been working with IDUG for over 10 years now, and I have been attending IDUG since, gosh, 2002, I think, was my first IDUG. And so, for me, I've learned so much from IDUG, and I've gotten so much from the community that serving as a volunteer and working my way through IDUG up to be president is just one way that I can give back. It's such a fantastic organization, and I would not be where I am in my career without IDUG. And so, hopefully, you as attendees to the DB2Night show will get some of what we're looking at and be able to use that to help your career as well. Next slide, please. So if you're not familiar with IDUG, we're the leading DB2 users group for IBM communities, actually. We're the largest group with over 14,500 members all around the world. You can see a breakdown here of where our members are located. So it's clear that although North America is our largest contingent, we do have a significant number of members elsewhere in the world. It is made up of IBMers and users and consultants and other people in the DB2 community who are coming together to provide knowledge and learn from each other. And one thing I do want to stress here is that IDUG is an independent organization. Although we do have partners that we work with, like IBM and Broadcom and BMC and DBI, we do make our own decisions about the kind of content that we want to present and about everything that we do for the users. So independence is a major thing that we like to stress, and know that when you're coming to an IDUG event or when you're involved with IDUG, you're getting stuff that's intended to be the best possible experience for users. Next slide, please. So if you haven't seen our website lately, we just about 2 months ago relaunched a completely refreshed website. This was an undertaking that took us almost a year to complete, and so everything is brand new on the website. from how you register for our events to how you interact with the community in DB2L and other communities pieces. And so I would encourage you to take some time today and visit the website and log in. Your password will have changed or will need to be reset. So when you log in, you can use the email address that you used before, but then you'll be prompted to reset your password. And so we're encouraging everybody to do that, to make sure that they get a chance to, take a look at the site, see what it has to offer, and renew their membership on the site. Chris, did you have anything you wanted to add to the comments about the website?
Yeah, actually, the website, it's totally different from what we had before. I encourage everybody, like you said, Ian, go on, take a look. We do have all the events posted on there. Go on to the DB2 portal. We have the old listserv of what we used to have. The listserv is back. So you can go back and start asking your questions to other DB2 users and experts within the community. I will be showing you a bit of a demo with our website and how the registration looks and feels a little bit later on. So, stay tuned for that as well. But, we do have so much more new and engaging content on our website. So, do head over to idug.org to check it out.
All right, thanks, Chris. Next slide, please. One of the efforts that IDUG has undertaken in the past probably 9 or 10 months, or maybe it's been longer than that, is we launched a podcast. 2 members of the IDUG Content Committee, who are the group that is responsible in IDUG for generating all of the articles and content that you see outside of conferences, started a podcast where they're interviewing members of the DB2 community, whether that is consultants or IBMers or regular users. And I have to say, I have just been completely blown away by how well this podcast is put together. The guests have been fantastic. The 2 hosts, Julia Carter and my brain is freezing. Davidge. Thank you, Marcus Davidge, are just wonderful. They are really good at drawing out the guests on the podcast, and so I would encourage you to take a second, find the podcast, and listen to it. The latest episode is another longtime IDUG volunteer, Phil Nelson, and I'm sure that you'll enjoy what Phil has to say in this episode.
And just to add as well to my bit on the podcast, one of the cool things that I love listening to it is that you get to learn a bit about the guest speaker on a more personal level, right? You get to hear about their likes and their interests. So hey, the next time you're at an IDUG conference or you see that person, you can talk to them about that. It's a good conversation starter. Hey, I listened to your podcast on the Table Talk. That was really cool. Roy Boxall, for instance, he did one, I think the last one prior to Phil's. Again, a good friend of mine. So we got to chatting about that at CCDUG. So it's a really good conversation starter amongst DB2 users. Listen to the same content, and again, you get some good education out of it too. And again, like you said, the hosts are very engaging. It's really, really well done. Julia and Marcus, they work really well together.
That's great to know. Thank you.
All right, and then I think that the next slide is, I'm going to turn it over to Chris to talk specifically about our event. It is starting, I believe, 1 month from today, right, Chris?
That is correct. So our flagship event is IDUG North America 2024 coming up in Charlotte. One of the cool things that we've really done with IDUG conferences in general, not just North America, but the conference model is, we've introduced a new technology. It's called SCED, which allows you to really dynamically build your conference grid. So whereas before, you'd have that paper copy and you'd have to kind of circle through and pick and choose which ones you want, and you wouldn't have a good way of, having on your mobile phone or, a printed out version. With the new mobile app, you have that ability to create your own tracks. You can pick and choose the sessions that you want to see. And just like I've shown down below, we have split everything and really reorganized, because we're all database experts here. We're all fans of reorgs. We have reorganized the conference as well. The conference used to be very columnar based. So it was, siloed, you would have your Z track in one room, or you'd have your LEW track in a separate room, and there wouldn't be any cross-contamination, I'd say, between the two. If you were an LEW person, you'd kind of, sit in that room and kind of stay there for the entire conference. There'd be no moving around between different rooms, different venues. That's really changed this year. We've really shuffled things around, but we also have now focused days. So although you may have, you're still going to have all your LUW and all your Z content that you normally had, it's just organized slightly differently into themes. And what the themes are, they're really, day-based themes. So each day has a set of themes. And all the themes are listed down below. So we have themes on AI, Gen AI, security and compliance, machine learning. We have best practices, utilities, working with SQL. We have all these, 21 different themes that we're working with, and they're all focused on the individual days. So each day, if you want to, have a great marketing campaign to say, I want to learn on AI, you have one day on AI. You have the next day, you can focus on performance and monitoring. You can focus the next day on your user stories. So that's the way we've really reorganized it, as opposed to just having that single siloed, if you're a Z person, you're sitting in that Z room all day. Now it's really moving around. You still have all those Z sessions, just amongst different rooms. And I know one of the concerns we always have at each IDUG is the layout. Where are the rooms with respect to, the next room? Do I have enough time to get through? Is it confusing to get around? Because in some of the venues, we may have multiple floors. I'm happy to say that's not the case with Charlotte. We have been at Charlotte before 5 years ago. And again, and over there, everything's all on one floor. Everything is within, less than a minute of each other, furthest room to furthest room. So you have, small distances between them. And it also allows you to interact and engage with other attendees, with the partners, with the sponsors, with other users. Along with, the themes, if you are new to DB2, Z or LEW, we have the fundamentals course. And what this is a hands-on instructor-led training, professional training done by LearnQuest that is coordinated through IDUG. And it's the same cost as IDUG, so you can have a choice if you want to have that instructor-led. It's really intended for that, more of a beginner to DB2. If you're really new into the industry and you want to have that formal training, this is where I would highly recommend you go. If you've been in the industry for a number of years and you want to get, more specialized or get better understanding on the individual aspects of DB2, IDUG is where it's at for sure. We have that #1 education, especially for DB2, and we're going to continue with that. But what the fundamentals has to offer, it really complements the IDUG portfolio with, again, that instructor-led, hands-on workshops and course material for DB2. And it is one of the things that the fundamentals course does give you, if you do choose to go with the fundamentals as opposed to IDUG, is you still get to attend all the keynotes. You still get all the lunches as you do with IDUG. You get to attend the vendor expo as well. You get invited to all the ancillary events of IDUG, plus you also get the Thursday sessions as well. So you get a bit of a bonus. You get to experience, what IDUG is like on that last day. So a bit of the technical sessions, along with the focused hands-on education, instructor-led education that you get through the request. Ian, any comments you have on the fundamentals?
Yeah, actually, the one thing I would like to add is, one of the things that we have heard at IDUG is that, and the reason why we started doing these fundamentals courses is that, we hear people talk about wanting to go take a DB2 class in person, only to find out that, at the last minute, the class gets canceled because of not enough registration. Well, that's not the case here at IDUG. If you register for one of these fundamentals courses, that class is guaranteed to run, even if it's just you as the only person in the room. So, it's a great opportunity to get a class, know that it's going to happen regardless. And if it's a small class with, 1 or 2 people, even better, because then you have just that much more time to interact with the instructor.
I do get a lot of questions around the exam certification, right? We used to have Prometric before. Now it is a badge-based. Do we have those exams conducted in the IDUG conference?
Yes,
for both.
Yes, they. Yeah.
Go ahead, Chris.
Go ahead, Ian.
So we do have both ZOS certification tests and the LUW badge tests will be offered at the conference.
Okay, great.
And that is the DB2 version 13.
For
That's a
mainframe.
brand new exam, brand new badge for mainframe, for Z. That is just being released in time for IDUG. So it's going to be fresh, hot off the press.
Great.
Again, a bit more about IDUG 2024 North America. Like I mentioned, it's in Charlotte, North Carolina, June 24th to the 27th. So that is the main event. It's the Monday to the Thursday. But we also do have workshops. They're complimentary. So free of charge, no cost. All you have to do is get there on time. And those are available pre-conference, so pre-con and post-con. So the conference does, as I mentioned, it does start on the Monday. So those pre-con workshops are all day Sunday. So there's a whole slew of them on Sunday, and we'll go through them and kind of highlight some of the key ones there. On the Sunday, as well as Thursday, we end IDUG at 12:30. Right after the IDUG closing is complete, there are half-day workshops in the afternoon through to 5 p.m. So if you wanted to stay until the end of the day on Thursday to have those hands-on workshops, we have those. And also, don't miss out on, as we were just talking, the certification and badging, because we do have those, and those are back and available. Not only that, we do have, our signature event of the Expo Hall on each of the evenings, on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday evening, as well as the noon hours. And there are also nights out with our partners, with IBM and Broadcom. So again, fantastic evenings out, always great food, amazing time to socialize, and again, meet with the experts of the industry, and make great relationships and friendships that, have you coming back to IDUG again. It's like what you had mentioned there, building the community building and the camaraderie. That's one of the best parts, I think, about IDUG. It's also that technical education, but it's also having that network of people afterwards that if you have an issue, you have a problem, you can reach out and talk to, like-minded individuals. An overview of our agenda. One of the cool things this year, we're starting at 9 a.m. That hasn't happened in a number of years. So with the exception of the Monday we're starting at 8:45 to give the IDUG committee a bit of time to welcome everybody. All the keynotes start at 9 a.m. That's a huge win for us. And we go through to 5:30 in the afternoon each day with the expo afterwards. And looking at the next 2 days, the Wednesday and the Thursday. And as I did mention here, we have that IDUG closing. I apologize, it goes till 1 o'clock. So these times are slightly off. It should be 12:30 to 1 o'clock for that IDUG closing. And then we have those post-con workshops from 1 o'clock through to 5. And as per usual, breakfast is included with the conference. So I believe we first introduced breakfast in Charlotte 5 years ago, and we're still continuing with that tradition. We'll talk about some of the workshops. So as you can see, we have 15 complimentary workshops. That's a lot. There's a lot of stuff happening. We have fantastic workshops all lined up for the Sunday and on the Thursday. So if there's a full day workshop with the IBM SWAT team, talking about application KPI monitoring and recording best practices. I personally will be attending that one. That's one of the events that I'm most looking forward to. And one of the things that I always look forward to at the conferences are the workshops. And it's these things where you get to get hands-on with the new tooling, or if it's hands-on lab or workshop, you get to really be hands-on with that tool, or you get to get really deep into the weeds with that technology. And we're also talking about, we have sessions on the new replacement to Data Studio, doing DevOps, Watson X hands-on labs as well. We have hands-on labs for the DevOps, IBM DevOps, as well as Datagate and Watson X. And also new. So now that LEW is available to run in RDS, we are noticing a whole bunch of Amazon submissions that came through. So it's kind of neat that we're getting, these new submissions from new partners that we haven't seen before. I really encourage people to take a look at the workshops when you do register. You can go on, take a look, and pick and choose at registration time which workshops you like. So a little overview, and I'm going to hop over just to our website just to kind of show you what the new things on IDUG look like. So I have open here. This is the IDUG website. So I am currently logged in. Take a notice here, and under the events, okay, we have the IDUG NA 2024. We also have EMEA 24, as well as past events. But if we take a look at this, North America 2024, within here, when you get here, you have this register now option. There's a link to the accommodations, the virtual agenda, partners and exhibitors, and you can add it to your calendar. If we scroll down some, I can show you one of the cool things that everybody always wants to see is the grid. It's been dubbed, been named the grid, and right now it's a PDF, which has all of our technical sessions and the workshops. So if you want to find out what is being presented, when and where, this is where to go. So this has all the technical sessions, the speakers, the technologies, the sessions. So again, look through this. It's a great resource that everybody is quite familiar with using as well. Stay tuned for that whole, the create your own track that will be coming up with SCED. So once we do have SCED up and running with the grid ported and over to it, you'll have that new IDUG app on your mobile devices, at which point you'll be able to pick and choose which sessions you want and really build your customizable grid. We get the fundamentals courses. We can expand these out, and just like I had highlighted, it talks about all the things that you look at and you review with the fundamentals courses. All the hands-on labs and what all the topics are included in there. And just to show you as well, the workshop times and descriptions right within here, it's a really great way to see what is being done when and where for the workshops, as well as the descriptions of them. So we have the full abstract along with the speakers. And finally, when you do go to register, now again, I am already registered, but if you go to register now, it's a whole new ticketing system. So it's a whole new registration process. We've gone, away with the old methodology and gone with this new system. For this, obviously, you have to be logged in first. And once you're logged in, scroll down, you have the registration options, which these are what are called tickets. If you're a speaker, you will see this option for a free ticket. Otherwise, you'll have the IDUG NA attendee. If you add one of these, we can minimize this, and we can now look at the workshops. So we have all these workshops now that you can add. So you can pick and choose which workshop you'd like to add. And when you're all done, go continue, and you populate the rest of your registration information. So it's a much easier registration process. And again, and we have all those workshops available. We have everything available for you ahead of time. So I really recommend taking a look. And if you want to register for IDUG, go on to the idug.org events pages for NA 2024. And lastly, I'll see you in Charlotte next month. We'll be there in 1 month. So looking forward to it.
Thank you. This was a great presentation and great overview.
Yeah, just a little bit more to talk about IDUG. In addition to North America, for our European attendees of the DB2Night show, we do have a conference in Valencia, Spain at the end of October. So just 5 months from now. And again, it's following, very similar structure to how we do North America. So you will see the themed days like Chris talked about in Valencia, but it will be different presentations, of course, because every year, we open the call for presentations, and users and other members of the community will submit their presentations for the conference planning committee to build the conference.
That's amazing. Thanks, Ian.
And again, one of the things that we're trying to do, as you mentioned, is that consistency across the board, across conferences. So no matter which IDUG event you go to, you have that same feel of you're at an IDUG event. So, and again, the content will always change because we're always having new technology, new things. DB2 is always ever evolving, but it's that format that we're always trying to keep consistent.
Right. So in addition to our flagship events, right, the North America and European conference, Chris, if you want to jump ahead 2 slides, we have regional events as well in other parts of the world. So in August this year, we have an event in Sao Paulo. Now the difference between this and the flagship events is the flagship events are typically 3.5 days plus pre and post conference activities. The regional events like this are typically 1 to 2 days. So for example, in Sao Paulo, we're going to have 1 day of presentation material, and then there will be a 2nd day of workshops as well. Similarly, next slide, in the beginning of 2025, in February, we'll have events in 2 cities in India. This year we were in Bangalore and Mumbai, and I got the honor to get to go to those 2 events, and it was wonderful. The regional events have a different flavor than the flagship events, but again, the community that you get is wonderful. And one of my most strong memories from being in India was getting to see people who perhaps had worked together in the past and hadn't seen each other, and they were just so excited to get to see each other. It was really wonderful. So I can't talk enough about the community aspect of IDUG and the ability to interact with your peers, or perhaps people that you worked with in the past. And I think that is all of our presentation.
Cool.
And Ian, I'm going to second that comment as well when you mentioned about the camaraderie, the networking. Like I said, and I'll say it so many times before, it's like-minded individuals, and we go years or a year without seeing other IDUG members. So it's always great to see those people in person again, get to talk to them, and or even people that you've worked with, or even over the phone for months or years, and finally get to see them in person. It is a great feeling for sure.
I generally get questions about what is the benefit of having IDUG premium access or premium membership. Do you want to elaborate a little bit on that aspect?
So the premium program for IDUG allows you to get conference information. So if you attend the conference in, for Charlotte, for example,
Mm-hmm.
we record the sessions and you get access to those recordings as an attendee in person. As a premium member, if you don't attend the conference, you do get access to some recordings of previous events. IDUG, we will release the slides after some amount of time to look at just the presentation materials, but as a premium member, you'll get some video content as well. So you can hear the speaker talking through the slides. And, I find that you pick up so much information from hearing the speaker talk during the presentations. The speakers aren't just reading their slides, right? So there's so much more information that you get from being able to hear the speaker talk and the extra stories perhaps that they tell about why they did something a certain way, or the pitfalls that a user ran into implementing a feature. That can be really valuable. So that's what premium membership gives you. I believe that premium membership also gives you a discount to conference events as well, and so that's an additional benefit to signing up for that.
Thanks, Ian.
I was just actually pulling up the benefits of the premium memberships while you're talking there, Ian, and you're right. It is so you do get a $300 in discounts toward conference fees. So $100 discounts on each in-person conference. So it pays for itself. If you're going to attend a conference, the premium membership gives you that $100 discount, which is the cost of the membership. So if you're already planning to attend, look at incorporating the premium membership to get that discount.
Yeah, this is wonderful. Thank you.
And again,
Chris,
we can't wait for IDUG.
Yeah, Chris, I don't know if you wanted to also talk about the virtual track for North America. I don't remember if we mentioned that.
No, we did not, but I can actually pull that up as well. If I take a look at my events, we do have, for those that are not able to attend in person, we do have a virtual agenda. Looks like it's not posted quite yet, which is 30% of the content. So we are streaming each keynote, so the keynotes each day, along with the first and third technical sessions of each day for the first 3 rooms. So we're streaming, again, is 30% of our conference is all being streamed, and they'll be available for on-demand replay as well as live streaming. And the cost for that as well is $5.99. So it's significantly less than attending in person. And those recordings are available for you to you as well, well after the conference. So you can get them either live and afterwards as well.
Good to
Yeah,
know.
of course we, I think you've heard it, but being there in person and getting the ability to walk up to somebody in the expo or at dinner or something like that and ask a question or listen to people's conversations and pick up things that way is just invaluable.
Absolutely.
So we definitely recommend the full in-person experience.
100%.
I totally agree with you.
I was asked as well by a couple of people as well, what would be my recommendation of a virtual or in-person? I said in-person is the way to go for just that reason, just those reasons. So I just showed up showing on the screen here. So we do have the sample of this is the Monday of what is streamed. So we do have all the days are available to pick. So if on the virtual attendee portal, you can pick each day, and it does show you what is all being streamed on that particular day. So there are 6 technical sessions per day.
This is cool.
Yeah, the Wednesday as well.
So I guess to wrap it up, I just want to thank Chris and his team. They've done an absolutely fantastic job putting this together. Doing it through the transition of the website has been an extra bonus for Chris and his team. So thank you, Chris, and I can't wait to see you next month and experience your conference.
Oh, likewise. And that's an interesting terminology, the bonus. It was definitely a bonus using the new technology, but it is fantastic. And you know what? To all people that are going to be attending either virtually or in person, reach out to me. Come say hi. Don't be shy. I'd love to talk to you, talk IDUG, talk DB2, or even just talk anything in general. So come on out and find us. Love to talk to you guys. Thanks again for this opportunity, Mohan. I appreciate it. And Martin, thank you so much for passing on the torch to Mohan. I love listening to the DB2Night show throughout the number of years that you've done it, and looking forward to so many more episodes again with Mohan at the helm. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for all the help, and thanks for joining us today. I'm going to take back the presentation.
Oh, and just so you know, the photo, that headshot of me. So you did crop out. I did have the IDUG badge in there. That was at Fenway Park in Boston when we had IDUG there 2 years ago. So so that's right from IDUG.
Cool.
I could tell the IDUG content was there, Chris.
Exactly. We were talking about it. Thanks, Chris and Ian, for the brilliant presentation and then overview of the IDUG. That was awesome. I hope everybody learned today. So we're going to have one polling question to ask. It's going to come on your screen. Did you learn anything today? So we have 5 seconds to go. We got all the questions. This 100% learning. Close the poll. All the polls were 100% today, including the DB2 version. We had a tie between 11.5.8 and lower than 11.5.8. So that was a tie, but otherwise it was all good. So today's show was sponsored by DBI Software, your trusted partner for DB2 performance tuning. So DBI offers a lot of product toolkit to basically make the DB2 work better, and then with anything which you look at, the best performing, or you can also identify highest CPU utilization query, track it, and then figure out the index needed or not. And also it can perform the simulation around the index need, and also figures out the number of sorts, the number of read efficiency, and then the transaction throughput, and also the changes which have been done in the past. It will highlight the number of changes went in the system so that you can identify what went in what. So we can also figure out if there were any performance issues caused by the recent changes. Those were all done beautifully well within the product toolkit. So that's about it for today. Martin, do you have any closing comment?
Thanks for coming. And you're going to do a great job, Mohan. We've got a little bit of work to do after the session closes so we can get the replay up. And
right.
we hope we'll watch that too.
Great. Thanks everybody for joining, and then have a great weekend, a long weekend, and we'll see you in the IDUG, at the IDUG conference.
All right. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Take care all.